Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Backpack Trader Training Room Crude Oil Inventory Report session for November 5th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our last session, so we'll do away with that. We're 2 minutes from the inventory report coming out. There's a new trade on unleaded that we certainly will not get involved in. We'll see a new setup there after the report. Report in less than a minute. All right. Report is just about to come out. There it is. There's the reaction. Not much. So there's our reaction range, just below the 50 EMA. And there's a reaction. That's definitely a reaction trade on the 377 tick counterpunch chart. I would like to see a new setup there. That one is definitely a reaction trade. We really don't want. Same thing on unleaded. We've got a reaction trade there. Unleaded coming very close to the stop, as is the 377 tick counterpunch. And unleaded stops out. Still a few seconds away from being able to take trades. 35 seconds, or 25 seconds, excuse me. We had a successful short trade at the end of the 9 o'clock session. It's our last trade and have no overbought or oversold readings. So nothing to do right now. We're looking for whichever one the price movement tells us. The three charts are the spotlight full crude contract, December on the right. That's the large chart. Unleaded, wholesale unleaded gas futures on the top left. Counterpunch 377 tick chart on the bottom left. Two of the three are same charts that we see on the regular session. Let's see what we get. Not looking, doesn't look like I will get anything right offhand. Yeah, we've got an overbought reading on unleaded, so we can get shorts. Got nothing in here. Yeah, we just got ever so slightly overbought on crude, spotlight crude. See that little pink nub right above the zero line, 0.42. No, we're using the histogram here. Overbought, oversold. Pink above the zero is overbought. Blue below above the zero is oversold. So pink overbought. We'd look for a short trade. Oversold, we'll look for a long trade. No trades. No trade setups anywhere at this point. Bar hasn't closed yet, so we may or may not be set up for long trades. Trade setup should have been the prior bar, so I don't think we'll get a new setup even if we do get a positive reading there. Would have been 30, 31, and we'll get a close above that. Then we get a down close. But I believe we did. Yep, we got an oversold reading, so we could get long trades now. Yeah, see, we got a very slightly positive oversold reading on this last bar that closed. Look at the SLOB. Or yeah, I'm sorry, SLOB. Oh, excuse me. SLO. We're oversold or overbought rather, so we're looking for shorts. I'm reading it that wrong. Target. Well, it just depends on the bars. We aren't getting down bars right now, so it's a 3-bar setup. So that would be bar 1. It's currently in bar 2 for exhaustion dots. No trades on unleaded or the 377 tick counterpunch. Unleaded is the same 20 tick or 0.002 momentum bar that we use on the regular sessions, and the 8 tick momentum bar or 8-cent momentum bar, Ninja Trader range bar on crude, spotlight crude that we're used to seeing in the regular morning sessions. I need to get one more bar closing before I have a good estimate of where we're going to be. But at this point, okay, 22 would be the close, 21 to 13. And right now, somewhere between about '09 and 6009 and 6012 would be where a short entry would show up. That's assuming we close down from here, next two bars. It's going to be, to get along, we're going to have, either have to go down enough and that close up. So we're not likely, in fact, we're not going to get along. We're going to get, we got exhaustion dots, but they were way too far away from the moving averages to get a trade off of. Right now, that's the only way we'll get along, is pull back into either the 50 to 20 or the 20. Probably pull back into the 20 at this point. That's one. We need one more close. Yeah, we need another close down to get exhaustion dots for a long trade. Yeah, exhaustion dots are, and that's these three dots here. So what I'm looking for is, to get exhaustion dots, we're going to have at least two closes below this high, the high of this bar. So we've got one, and we're going to need that one to, and we just pushed it up, so we're going to have to get closes below this high now. Filtered trade, crossover filter, keeping us out of the short on unleaded. And there is a long on the 377 tick counterpunch. Yeah, 42 for money management. So target 3 is our actionable target there. We did trigger into that trade, although I suspect this is probably still a get. Yeah, now we're in that trade. Not getting anything to set up a long trade on the spotlight chart. We're gonna need some down bars. That's an up closing doji. All right, long on the 377 tick, Crude. That's the idea, but they're based off the price action. But basically, we keep getting up closes. So until we get a couple of down closes, a couple of consecutive down closes, or at least closes below the current, the last high close. Short trade is certainly possible. Inventory report, Josh, is weekly. Normally it's Wednesdays at 10:30. The exception to that is on weeks where you have a Monday holiday, it's pushed back to Thursday at noon. And once every couple of years, it ends up being on a Friday for various reasons. Things like when you get Election Day and Memorial Day or Veterans Day in the same week. Veterans Day on Monday and Election Day on Tuesday. I've seen it pushed to Friday, that kind of stuff. And unleaded with a long trade, and the 377 tick counterpunch has reached target and is trailing now at 60.39. Unleaded is long, and still nothing on Spotlight Crude. We got a nice up move, but we didn't ever get exhaustion dots. Our last set of exhaustion dots are way down here. It would have set up a trade here, but we didn't yet have the oversold reading, which we got one bar later. Now we just got a couple more oversold readings. I'm sorry, overbought readings from it going up. We haven't got an oversold reading since back before our successful long trade on the 9 a.m. session. And stopping out on the 377 tick, that trade plan is done. Getting target 2 and trailer in between targets 1 and 2. I normally do trade the crude counterpunch chart in sim mode during this. All right, unleaded making some headway. We needed one more down close to get exhaustion dots. That would likely have blue. The blue is oversold. The pink or whatever, pink or purple, whatever you want to call it, are overbought. So pink is Pink above zero means we are overbought, and therefore we're looking for shorts. Pink trades. We won't get blue. Won't get blue trade. Blue trades are our long trades. Pink trades are our short. That corresponds to, you need pink above zero to set up shorts, blue above zero to set up longs. The other trades, possible trades that we have, we also can get. Let's see. This green line on the histogram is the trend strength, and it's very low right now. So that's not going to give us anything. When it gets above zero, you'll see green trades set up in the reversing direction from the trend, irrespective of whether you've got overbought or oversold readings. And the overbought readings mean we're not going to get a blue trade. They're supposed to be mutually exclusive. The SLOB is spotlight. OSOB rather is spotlight oversold overbought is what that histogram is. The green line is basically an ADX. All right, money management on unleaded. So the stock comes up. Entry was 196, so it comes up to 197. Target 1 is 226. Sitting at 225. Yeah, we got to 227, so we got target 1. Target 1 traders will be one and done. You get up to target 2 to get that one complete. Correct. Exactly. That is exactly correct. That's for the pink and blue trade setups. We also could get the yellow setup is a pullback into the 50, where the exhaustion dots are within 4 ticks of the 50 EMA, this goldenrod line. We also can get this dark blue trade is a pullback into the 20 simple moving average. The trade is the same color as the line. About 4 tick proximity to that with the exhaustion dots. This is the exhaustion dots that produce this blue trade. The stop is up here because it was a major key level at 48. So that key level's up to 51. And then you have your entry here. First bar to close below the balance No, exactly. Well, I say that when they're below zero, if there's been a positive reading since the last successful trade in that direction, then you are looking for new trades. You see, here was the last oversold reading where the blue was positive, SLOS was positive, oversold. So we were looking for a blue trade. After that, it was negative at this point, but we still got the blue trade because we had the positive reading. So that's how the trade's set up. The basic trades. Then you have your trades off the EMAs or SMAs. And the third trade, I'm not sure if I have that turned on or not, is trade off the 200 EMA, which is a magenta trade. Vortex proximity of the exhaustion dots to the 200 EMA. And there's target 2 on unleaded. So unleaded is done. will be done. We still have a trailing position. Unleaded got one and done on the 9 a.m. session, one and done on the crude session this morning. And nothing on spotlight this session. That's unusual. But it does happen. All right. If we go past 11 o'clock, I would say this is a no trade session on Spotlight. Unleaded trailing nicely. 92.33. Just bouncing off the session high. 92.89, the session high. Note this histogram is showing pink, so it would be looking for short trades now. And this was a yellow trade, so it was pulled back into the 50 EMA and then moved upward. $92.38 for the unleaded stop. And of course, this is on Spotlight today, Josh. I think you're actually looking to work with Cloud Control or Catapult. So you'll go through the training on those to learn how those work. All right, we're under 2 minutes to 11 o'clock. Looks like we're getting an up move with not giving us any trades on Spotlight. 377 tick counterpunch and unleaded were successful. And new session high on unleaded. And 92.39 for the stop. And continuing to push up. So $1.93 a gallon. And if you wonder why the pricing on unleaded is to 4 decimals, the deliverable on unleaded is 1,000 barrels. A barrel is 42 gallons. So you're looking at 42,000 gallons. So that's why your price changes are at 4 digits. And the value of a tick is $4.20. So you divide 42,000 gallons of deliverable by 1/10,000, or multiply it times 1/10,000. So that's where the $4.20 comes from. All right, 92.59 for the stop. Continuing to trail up above almost to target 3. Just below target 3, as a matter of fact. And there it goes up above it at 64. Target 3 was 62. 68 ticks on the trailer so far. So that trailer is already worth $250 per contract. So, of course, the chart that I'm intending to trade is the only one that hasn't had trade this morning. Oh well, that's the way it goes sometimes. And a nice big up move on the stop, 92.84. Beyond target 4. 4 ticks beyond. We're at 88 ticks. And there's another move to 94. It's another, so 98 ticks. So we're in the $400 trailer, a single per contract. Would have been nice to catch a trade going up. Unfortunately, just didn't set us up one. If we had not hit money management on that 9 a.m. trade, we'd have gotten a long trade at 60.31 on this bar. And we would be in this. But that is the way things go. We touch money management. That makes this a successful trade. And we would need a blue bar above 0 after this. And we never had it. Have a good one, Josh. All right, we're 5 after 11. I'm going to go ahead and call it. We're still trailing on unleaded. Not going to try to take any trades on Spotlight crude this morning. I would actually make that an 11 a.m. mini session, and I'm not going to trade that session. So counterpunch, 377 tick, successful. Unleaded is definitely successful. This is 98 tick trailer so far. Target 1 traders picked up 30, target 2 48 on your targets. Target 1 or target 2, depending on which you were trading. It's typically a 2-position trade plan. Fixed target and the trailer. Trailer being the big winner on this one. Let's see, stick around and see if it'll resolve the trade on unleaded. Every once in a while we see a little bit of sell pressure on crude, which is translating to a little bit of downward pressure on unleaded, and then they both head back up in this current move. Almost down to the session low at 60.01. Three more ticks on the unleaded trailer puts us at 101. That's right, we were 4 ticks. Yeah, we're at 96. We're 4 ticks under 200. And then we're 97 over 400. Yeah, it's 101 ticks on the trailer. 420. 424.20. so far. Another move to 93.04. It's 108 ticks. We got to pull back almost to actually to the balance line. See if we get a pullback and stop out 304. $156 ticks. There is a short setup. That's the green. The green trend strength got above zero, so that's a trend strength reversal. So we exit at 309 or 304, either one. 108 or 113, depending on which you use for an exit point. And that completes the trade. And that also will complete our session. All right, there are exhaustion dots for a possible short on Spotlight Crude. Close was not below the balance line, so no trade yet. If this closes below the balance line, we will get a short trade. If we get a couple of bars, if we get an up and then a down, trade may be filtered out by the crossover because we're within 2 ticks of the 50 crossing above the 200, and that would filter out short trades for the next 8 bars. Here's the pullback. Now it's trying to push down. Let's see. And then there's your short. Pink trades at 67. I'm not going to take that. That's an 11 a.m. session trade. No trades on the crude inventory report. So we will see everybody tomorrow morning at 9:30. Everybody have a good afternoon, and see you tomorrow.